Hello, everybody. Brother Ed coming to you once again from Louisville, Kentucky, and this is what's really going on. First off, I don't know if you noticed or not, but the last video that I did was removed by you know who. According to them, I violated community guidelines with misinformation, which is an absolute bald-faced lie. I did not misinform anyone. Might not have even told any of you anything that you didn't already know about. At any rate, I don't know anymore what I can say on here that's not going to either get me a strike, a warning, or what have you. And they don't tell you exactly what it was that you said. They just say you violated community guidelines. At any rate, everything that I said was 100% true, and it can be proven. If they want to give me a warning or take my channel down, I can't stop them. I'll tell you what I can do, and what I did. I showed a video that I did to a couple of my coworkers, and one of them, she's maybe about 21, what have you, very young lady, sweet girl. She told me that I should get a TikTok account. Well, I never really had given that any consideration in the past, but she said that my videos would go over well on TikTok and that I wouldn't have to be concerned about all the things that I'm having to deal with from the current platform. So I have a TikTok account, Bro Ed the Red. I tried to do Brother Ed, but it was already taken. At any rate, I was watching a movie last night. It's called No Escape. It was very, very interesting. They never did say exactly what country that it was taking place in, but it was in Southeast Asia. That was obvious. I thought maybe Bangladesh or Sri Lanka, somewhere like there, but I did some research and found out that the language being spoken was Laotian, so I'm figuring it must have taken place in Laos. But you should really see that. You really should, because, at least I suggest you see it anyway, because from what I was feeling when I was viewing this film, I was thinking, I never really felt concerned about something like this happening in the United States. But after everything that we saw taking place last year, I found that film to be very concerning. I really did, because I believe it could happen here, and I believe it could happen on a very large scale here at some point. Likely, well, if it does happen, it would probably be within the next year. And something that I want to bring to everyone's attention, those who are listening, just in case you aren't aware. I often wondered why people in other countries hate Americans. And I found out at least part of it is because our military doesn't know how to keep its nose in its own business where it belongs and only help where help is asked for, rather than forcing its assistance where it's not wanted or probably not really even needed. That's half of it. The other half of it is that we have corporations here in this country, and it's not just here. Other countries do the same. The UK and other allegedly wealthy nations. They go into underdeveloped countries and do things like build highway systems for them, power plants, utility companies, like water company, what have you. And they loan money to these underdeveloped countries that they know in advance they are not going to be able to pay back because they can't afford it. But they do it anyway. And when the time comes that these nations are not able to afford to pay it back, or they can't pay it back as quickly as they would prefer, then they confiscate what they built that was supposed to be for these other nations. thereby owning not only what they built that was not supposed to be under their ownership, but having a lot more control over the people than they really should have. And understandably so, they don't appreciate it. I wouldn't appreciate it either if it were me. So, if you didn't know why, and I don't really understand why they want to clump it into as, all Americans are bad, but I guess they just don't understand that we're not all in support of such unethical, we'll put it that way, things being done to countries that are not able to defend themselves from it being done. If I were able to advise those nations, I would simply tell them, don't let it happen. Make do the best you can with what you have, and don't go into debt for any corporation anywhere in any other country, or maybe not even in your own country. Just make do. I mean, that's what we're going to have to do very soon. We're going to have to just make do with what we have. And if it's too dangerous to make do with what we have where we are, we're just going to have to go. Like it or not, comfortable as we want to be or not, that's what's going to happen. It's going to happen. If you want to survive, that's just what we're going to have to do. At any rate, I wouldn't be surprised if just for telling the truth, which is all I ever do when I get on here, probably going to get a strike or a warning for this. Wouldn't surprise me a bit. So, I'm going to figure out how to get these videos up on TikTok. You guys can join me over there just to be on the safe side. Till next time, Brother Ed saying, be in the Word. Be as well prepared as you can be at all times for the worst possible case scenarios, because they are coming. It's even being projected that we could potentially be in a global conflict sometime between the beginning of 2023 and the beginning of 2024, or between 2024 and 2025. That could also have something to do with depopulation. Russia and China are getting pretty chummy. Just put it like that. Be in prayer, folks. Be in prayer. Divine intervention for believers is not only possible, it's probable. Put your faith and trust in that. Brother Ed signing out with love.